My husband's secretary looked me up and down at the office Christmas party and said, "No wonder he works late so often, avoiding going home." I smiled, leaned closer, and asked one quiet question about October 12th. Her confidence shattered on the spot. 3 weeks later, she was pursuing new opportunities, and my husband started coming home at 6 sharp. Ryan and I had been married 9 years. I knew his normal late night, tired, hungry, half asleep. Then 6 months ago, he came home wired. He showered first, guarded his phone, and suddenly worked late every Wednesday. I checked our cards and found 3 Marriott charges on Wednesday afternoons. My stomach dropped. I didn't accuse him because I needed proof, not a fight. I hired Rachel, a private investigator I knew from college. 2 weeks later, Rachel called while I stood in Target. "He's not having an affair," she said. "Not physically. He meets her after hours. They just talk." Then she hit me with the real headline. Elizabeth had a DUI on October 12th, Blue A, 12, and the record vanished within 72 hours. That kind of disappearing act takes a law firm, Rachel said. Rachel kept digging. Those Marriott charges lined up with days. Ryan billed, travel that never happened, fake expenses, padded hours, and Elizabeth had his computer password, which meant after-hours access to confidential settlement files. "They're tied together," Rachel said. "Mutually assured destruction." So when Elizabeth tried to humiliate me at the party, she handed me my opening. I stepped closer with the sweetest smile I could fake. "That's funny," I said. "I was just thinking how much Ryan must trust you." Her champagne paused mid-air. The other wives suddenly got very interested in their phones. I leaned in, close enough that only she heard me. Then I whispered, "Does Ryan know about October 12th? After that, I watched her smile crack. 1 millimeter. Next, I added, "And the settlement files you opened after hours." Then her fingers tightened around the glass until it trembled. Again, she tried to speak, but nothing came out. Finally, I said louder, "Have a wonderful evening, Elizabeth." I walked to the bar like I'd commented on the weather. My hands shook around a gin and tonic, but I kept my face calm. Across the ballroom, Elizabeth stood alone, pale, scanning the room like an animal looking for an exit. At dinner, Ryan grabbed my elbow too hard. "What did you say to her?" he hissed. "She joked that you avoid coming home," I said. I reminded her trust matters. His face did a whole slideshow. Confusion, recognition, then fear. Later, he followed her into the hallway. I followed him and stopped before the corner. "She knows," Elizabeth said, voice thin. "She mentioned October 12th. That was sealed," Ryan said. "And she mentioned the files," Elizabeth snapped. "How else would she know?" There was a long pause. Then Ryan asked, very quietly, "Have you been accessing the settlement files?" Elizabeth's voice cracked. "Yes. I needed to know how exposed we are. The Peterson case has holes." Ryan swore under his breath. It wasn't an affair. It was fraud, and they were drowning together. I stepped around the corner. They both lynched like guilty kids. "Hi," I said pleasantly. "They're about to do the raffle." Elizabeth's mascara was already running. I tilted my head. "You don't look well. You should go home." She grabbed her coat and left without another word. Ryan stared at me in the quiet hallway. His jaw worked like he was chewing glass. "What do you know?" he asked. "Everything," I said. "The fake travel, the padded hours, her DUI, the files." He started with excuses. Pressure, billables, a little padding. I cut him off. "Tomorrow you audit what she touched," I said. "You decide if you confess to the name partner." I took a breath and finished it. "And you come home on time?" "Every night." He swallowed hard. "And us? We'll see," I said. "But if you ever play me for stupid again, I won't ask questions. I'll make calls." 2 days later, Elizabeth announced she was leaving for new opportunities, friendly exit, great reference, gone. 3 weeks after the party, Ryan admitted the billing mess, agreed to restitution, and took a year of probation. He came home at 6 after that. We talked like adults, slow and painful. I slept better than I had in months because I wasn't guessing anymore. If you were in my heels that night, what would you have asked her? Would you have gone softer or gone for the throat? Drop your take in the comments.